Okay, I'm with Matt Green, and today's subject is going to be football. So, Matt, what was your first interaction with football?
My first interaction with football was probably around middle school. I just kind of like learned the sport through a couple friends. Just like tossed the football around, and I was always like an athlete growing up. So,
And what did your friends do to influence you to enjoy football as much as they did?
just like learning a new sport in general was fun for me, and kind of like learning like what a first down was, like how to throw it, how to catch, like just progressing and watching myself grow was a lot of fun. Just like with the sport in general. So.
So, did you start out just playing football, or did you just go right into the NFL and start watching them? What was the deal with that?
So I was a big like gamer as a kid, so I played like a lot of Call of Duty and stuff, like video games. And my friend played a lot of Madden. So I kind of learned a lot about football through that, just because I was such a big gamer. So like watching him play Madden and like seeing how like into the game he got, like when he would lose, he would get like very upset, like throw the controller and stuff. And like I didn't understand why at the time, but like now it's just like there's so much passion behind the sport in general.
Right, right. So, you've learned through Madden football. What is the difference between playing the video game of Madden as opposed to playing football in reality?
Um, I mean, obviously the physical aspect is like you have to like actually run the routes and stuff, but like I learned how to run routes basically through playing the video game. Like I would watch how the receivers in the game would run, and I would base my moves like off of what they did. So it was kind of like an interesting way to learn about the sport.
So you found routes. You were studying the game of football through the video game Madden,
Hmm.
and you used that in reality to
Yeah.
play with your friends on the outfield and stuff like that.
Yeah, like when we played pickup games and stuff, like in the beginning I would just kind of run around and see what happened and like maybe try to catch the ball and like but like the more I played Madden, like the more I understood the concepts of routes and taking away defenders and making quicker cuts and stuff like that. So like just like it was like cool to grow that way.
That's cool. Have you ever considered playing professionally?
Um, I I did at a time. I mean, my junior slash senior year of high school, I had thoughts of joining the football team at the high school, but I was working like 39 hours a week in high school. So to me, it wasn't worth like giving up that um, part of my life. Like working was a big thing for me. Like being able to have my own income was important at the time. But when I did go to college, I tried out for the football team there, and I actually made the team for a little bit. I was practicing with them for a couple of weeks, and then they eventually like let me go because I didn't have any film from high school or anything else. So.
Oh, that's an interesting development. So even though you got let go for the team, what was it? What was the experience like? How did you enjoy it?
It was a lot of fun. Just like see it, like going through warm ups and just like being with like the team, like in general, was like a lot of fun. Unfortunately, like I wasn't able to like play in a game or scrimmage or anything, but we ran a lot of drills and stuff, and like just running the drills made me learn a lot more about the sport in general. Like I learned, you know, running plays isn't just like, hey, I'm gonna hand you the ball off and you go this way. It's like you have to read like a one tech, three tech, like where you have to read the blocks and make the cuts.
Hmm.
So it's like just that small aspect of like, because running back is the position I tried out for. So I
Okay.
ran a lot of like running back drills and like learning stuff like that was like really interesting to me. And then so like watching the game now and seeing the running backs do what they do, I have more appreciation for it because I was exposed to like some of the difficulties of like trying to read the blocks and make the plays.
So your preferred position is running back?
Yeah, I feel like that would best suit me because I'm not like I feel like wide receivers are usually like taller, like they can make big plays, but like I'm a kind of like a smaller, faster guy, so like like a scat back kind of thing was my kind of favorite. Plus, I always loved LaShawn McCoy on the Eagles, so he was one of my favorite players when I first learned the sport.
Awesome. So LaShawn McCoy. So does that mean you have a favorite team in the NFL?
Oh yeah, I'm an Eagles fan for sure.
Eagles fan.
Yeah.
And feeding off that, who got you into the Eagles? What got you into the Eagles? What was that?
My best friend from elementary school, one of my friends in middle school that first taught me the sport. I was over his house all the time. He's diehard Eagles fan. The room is painted green. He's got jerseys, posters, everything set up. His brother's a huge Eagles fan, so just being exposed with that and seeing how like he got into the games, it got me into him and stuff like that. And my last name is Green, so Green Team is awesome.
I totally understand that. So being an Eagles fan, what was like? What is the most thrilling experience you've had being an Eagles fan? Have you ever seen a game? Have you ever gone to a game live?
Yeah, so actually my first game was at MetLife Stadium, so it was an away game. It was a Jets-Eagles game, and Darren Sproles returned a punt for a touchdown, and that was like the first game I was at, and it was like crazy just to like see that, and like even at the beginning of the game, like we were kind of in like the corner, and like we were right where the Eagles ran out. Like I could see them in the tunnel before they came onto the field, and I was like yelling their names and stuff. So it's just like it was an awesome experience. Like just being in person at a game was awesome. And then when the Eagles went to the Super Bowl that year, I went to the divisional playoff round against the Falcons, which was a really close game, awesome game. Came down to like the last play, and I was there for that in person. So that was awesome too.
So being a fan and also being an avid player, even though you got let go of the Rowan's team, you go on to be a fan. How do you still continue to adapt with the game of football? Do you play with your friends? What do you do?
Yeah, so I have a few friends that we play pickup games, like 3-on-3s, depending on who comes out. It's hard, once you get older, your friends, you're working, people going to college, so like work with everyone's schedule, just like get like some kind of game going. But just like going out and being active is just like a big part of my life. So being able to still play the sport in some facet is amazing.
Right. So you play street ball, if I could say, with your friends. How is that different from playing football with the Rowan team?
I mean, not having offensive and defensive line for one thing, and then when you play 2-on-2, 3-on-3, like it's kind of hard to run like a zone defense. So you're basically just man on man the whole time. So you don't have like the option of getting open in the zone. Running routes is different between man and zone defenses. So it's it forces you to like make the quicker cuts and make bigger plays that way instead of just kind of getting open, or like we don't really run the ball with a 2-on-2. So
Right. So do you find more frustration on the offensive side playing in a 3-on-3 environment as opposed to being full 11 on 11?
yeah, there's definitely more frustration because you're limited in what you can do. There's not running plays. You can't really run screens when you're playing two-hand touch because a lot of screen plays are based off of you catching the ball, making people miss, breaking tackles. Like two-hand touch, it's as soon as you're touched, you're down. So it adds like a harder aspect to it.
So overall, would you prefer playing street ball with your friends as opposed to playing on a team as 11 on 11?
I would much rather play 11-on-11. Honestly, it's more controlled. It's more scripted. You have better game plans in an 11-on-11. There's a lot more you can do, offensive and defensively.
All right, Matt. Thank you very much for your time, dude.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.